Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. We have a lot of things to go over, so let's just jump right into it. So first of all, welcome back to the 12 days of Christmas. We've had quite a little bit of a run with giving away certain things. On Christmas Day, we actually gave away about $600 worth of Solana. Second day, we did the TANGEM wallet giveaway. Congratulations to 3 winners as well. Third day, we had Ivan on tech, which was pretty interesting about what he talked about as far as moving averages. And we had Wes from Smart Money tracking, and he gave away a lifetime subscription to for 3 people. And then just yesterday, we gave away a bunch of goodies from Kraken. So thanks to everybody who has contributed and for this giveaway. And then today, I'd like to also thank Coinledger for putting this all together. Now, right now, I don't know if you need help with your taxes or anything like that, but there is a post over on X. And if you just interact with that post, which I linked in the description, and just give just a little comment on there, we're going to be giving away 3 pro tiers for tax support. And as a quick reminder, here in the States, I don't have all the tax rules for everybody, but here in the States, you got a couple more days to do this thing called tax loss harvesting. I don't know if you guys are massively in profit. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but some of you may have had some pretty big losses this year, unrealized. But as a quick reminder, wash trading is illegal in traditional markets. Tax loss harvesting is legal, and wash trading is legal still in the crypto digital asset space. So if you have some kind of losses and you're sitting there going, man, I really wish I could use those. Well, you can on your taxes. Let's say that you bought Bitcoin you bought $30,000 worth of Bitcoin, and it went down and you bought the top, and now you've got $20,000 worth of Bitcoin. You can sell those at a loss, buy them right back, take the 10K loss, and reduce your taxes. And if you want to buy back, do what you want to do. That's pretty much what it's there for. Now, just as a reminder, in the States, and I can't give you financial advice, that's why I'd like you to reach out to Coinledger. But if you're going to do this, just remember that there are short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains. If you sell at this point and you were holding for years, and for some reason you're out of profit, maybe you're like, you know what, I think this BitConnect's going to come back at some point, and you finally sell that, just know that if it does go back up by some miracle, you have to start from the beginning, and that could be short-term capital gains if you ever sell later within a year. So just remember that if you sell, it resets everything. I will put that out there for everybody. Anyhow, links in the description to the post. Go check that out. Let's break into what's going on today. So, precious metals, congratulations to the metal holders. Yesterday, we were talking about how there was a huge dip, and they took a little healthy pullback. Today, a little bit of a change for gold, not that much. I think it went down by 5 or 6%. Now it's up 0.34. Silver's up a little bit after they took a dive around 9-10%. Platinum up a little bit, but palladium's still going down. See how that works out. So again, this is the tale as old as time, as we've talked about this before, which is, you're going to see retail. They're going to ape in at the very top. And then there's a little bit of pullback. They go crazy and they start to sell off. And then, of course, it recovers. And that's just kind of like par for the course, exactly what's essentially happening here. And will probably continue to keep happening as time goes on. So just be aware, these are the things that we have there. So we'll go from this piece. Now, what is going on in our space? Well, first of all, if you're looking for like some type of risk levels for like silver, gold, any stocks, and of course crypto, just know Ben's site, links in the description. Now he's got risk levels for silver, gold. This has actually been here for a couple months or so, but I thought it was interesting that the risk levels for silver today is almost at an all-time high, 0.92. So again, if people are going to get in, this is probably the time that they're going to do it, because that's essentially what the retail investors do. Now, will it keep going up? Yeah, potentially. But for me, I'm taking a look at Bitcoin as far as like that risk level, and you're at 0.41. I'd like to get in a little bit cheaper, but it is where it is. And this is why we talk about these things on the channel. Also, S&P 500 took a little bit of a minor pullback, but over time, again, S&P 500 traditional markets are doing just fine as they're hitting near all-time highs and moving forward. So that's what we have for this one. And unfortunately, Bitcoin is still trading sideways around 88,000 yet again, and pretty much flat going across the board. after we had a nice little run up for 90,000. Then of course it dropped right back down because some people are saying it's manipulated. I'm not saying it is, just saying that's what's happening. But I will remind everybody, as far as if you want to say manipulation, you can just go as far as take a look at the ETF flows. And it's atrocious, quite honestly. The Bitcoin ETF flow over the last 12 days, there's only one day that was positive over the last roughly 2 weeks. And that was the 17th of December. Had a big, huge number, 457 million. But again, over the last 12 days, 2 weeks, it's been, oh, excuse me, I take that back. On 12th of December, also 49 million. But you see nothing but red, 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 red. However, this is where we get to. As far as the total cumulative amount, we're still going down. Unfortunately, I think people focus a little bit too much on this part and not so much this whole entire gigantic part. Also, Ethereum, nothing but red except for 1 day and 22nd December. Look at that. That is quite a massive amount. Over here on Bitcoin, I think it was like $700 million. Ethereum, probably around 200, no, excuse me. I would say about 460 million or so. And then the only one that's actually positive for ETF is Solana. So congratulations, Solana ETF holders. We'll see how that works out. And then as far as altcoins, just want to give everybody a shout. If you own Hyperliquid, and I don't know if you're in profit, I doubt you are, but Hyperliquid Labs looks like they're going to do a HYPE token payout as 1.2 million tokens become unstaked. I believe this is for some of the members and other people. So just know that once you have a big round of unstake, take those tokens, you unstake them, give them in the hands of the people who've been waiting for patiently. You've probably gone on like pennies in the dollars. They're probably going to sell. So just know that Hyperliquid, if you own it, just be aware there's a massive unlock. Let's see. Coming, when is this? January 6th. So right around the corner. And again, if you're in profit, which again, I said I doubt it, but if you are, something to think about. Anyhow, so that's what we have for the market itself. Now let's talk about the tale as old as time, which is accumulation. And I have to tell you, there are very few individuals who get it right, because most people they're just average. Nothing wrong with that. They'll get into a position, they'll hold for a little bit, they'll sell off, and they'll be very happy. But it takes a certain individual to find the right product, whether that be Bitcoin or whatever it is for you, and hold out and just keep going as the darkest days. I don't think this is the worst day of all time, but when I take a look at these DATs, these digital asset treasuries, it is amazing to me how few are actually buying. And one of those was Metaplanet, as they closed 2025 out above 35,000 Bitcoin. And they just purchased $500 million at just a day ago or so. Tokyo listed company added 4,279 Bitcoin for an acquisition cost of about 451 million, bringing its treasury to 35,102 Bitcoin, around $3 billion at the current price. Imagine what's going to happen when eventually Bitcoin does go up. And I'm not saying it's going to double or triple or quadruple, but I mean, Metaplanet is a hotel company that doesn't own many hotels anymore. And I think this is their big play. And I don't know what's going to happen, if it's the PMI and the banana zone is going to come out, and liquidity and quantitative easing and everything's going to line up perfectly in 2026, like some of the gurus are saying, or if we just continue on with another 4-year cycle. I have no idea. But I'll be here for the long haul. I know as long as the government keeps debasing the currency, I think we should be okay. But that's what's happening. And it got me thinking, how many of these treasuries are actually buying at this point? Because as we're going down, that's the whole object, right? Buy low and kind of sell high. If you take a look over at CoinGecko for the treasuries, you can see that over the last 30 days, and we actually did this roughly 20, 25 days ago or so, nobody's buying, like nobody. So like all these different companies, they're not adding to their stack. It's very few. Strategy, looks like the United States hasn't confiscated any more Bitcoin yet. But hey, watch out, Venezuela. We'll be there to take your Bitcoin too. I'm kidding. They just want the oil. Metaplanet, of course, they just purchased a little bit. But everybody else, bullish, Riot, Galaxy, Coinbase Global for their own personal balance sheets. Tesla, they're not going to buy for a while. All these places American Bitcoin. I believe that's Donald J. Trump's. It's either Eric Trump or Donald Trump's. They're a part of that company for mining American Bitcoin. They added 731. Congratulations, they get it. Huh, that's interesting. The president's son gets it, but the rest of these companies can't. ProCap Bitcoin plus 49, and all the rest of these, nothing. Come on, yeah. NAP Holdings out of Japan. And Satsuma Tech, one of the only ones that have sold. So these people are holding on to it, but you would think they would acquire some little bit more. And that would lead me to the last points, and we'll get into the giveaway and a little Q&A. I know what it doesn't seem like everything is so great, but there's a great chart here from Bitcoin Magazine, percent of addresses in profit. This is just for Bitcoin. And if we can take a look here, I mean, of course, when we're at roughly, all-time highs, then everybody's in profit. 99, almost 100% of people are in profit. Well, this is July 22nd. October 6th, 99.9. Where is it all-time high? Of course. But as it stands now, this is 78. Roughly 3 out of 4 people are in profit so far. I'll take those numbers. That sounds about good. But you have to understand that some of these on-chain analytics, they can be manipulated and pretty much cherry-picked to what the presenter wants to tell you. So I'm just going to tell you like this. The percent address in profit, it sounds good, and it could be good, but as a definition, the chart shows the proportion of distinct addresses holding Bitcoin when the average purchase price of an eighth, blah, blah, blah. Purchase price refers to the price of Bitcoin at the moment Bitcoins were moved into an address. So some people could have bought up here, and then it's on the exchange. They're like, oh, shoot, I got to take this off because I listened to Rob and his rules, which says don't leave things on exchanges. So I'm going to take those off because I don't want to get Voyagered or Celsius or FTX'd. So I'm going to take that off. And they may have bought at 126 and they moved it at 70 or whatever it is today, 86K, and be like, oh, they're roughly in profit. And that's not true. It's just because that's what they moved. And that's another thing, that when people move crypto around from wallet to wallet, they think it's selling. It's not always the case. Sometimes people take it off of the exchange to hold it in cold storage because they're smart. But this is the bigger thing. Who is moving? Who has the Bitcoin? And if you have these as far as like addresses, this is roundabout pretty accurate. Addresses with balance more than 0.01. And the reason I wanted to show this, actually Wes pointed this out to me from Smart Money Tracking on Sunday with me, him, and Jerry. And he talked about how when we have like a huge run-up for Bitcoin price, you'll see more Bitcoin wallets be created because everybody's excited and they want to get a hold of this brand new thing and get onto the roadway to riches. And of course, that runs up. But just as it runs up, of course, this is January 8th, 2018, then you start to see a sell-off, then they sell off. This is retail. This is the early retail. This is the people who don't usually invest, have never heard of the phrase buy low, sell high. And they just buy it here, let it run up, and they ride it all the way back down. They round trip their bags, and they start selling. Sell, sell, sell. And then things turn around. They chop sideways, just like it always happens. And then it goes up over time. Now, all these people are already gone because in 2017, most of my friends told me, hey, you still investing in Bitcoin because it's a scam? Sure it is. And then it went from here to like 5,000 and ran all the way up. And these balances kept going, going, going. And then in 2021, came here, a little bit of a drop down. People got flushed out, then it kept going up. But something changed. And you'll see it right here. As far as like January 2024, this was the peak of 0.01 Bitcoin. Maybe it's because people were accumulating more, I'm not for sure. But if you take a look at addresses with balances of 0.1, it's the same story. It's like they all get to a point, they lose it, they acquire, lose it, acquire here, and then right around this point, they just go flatline. It happened in 0.01, 0.1, it happened in 1 Bitcoin, it happened in roughly 10 Bitcoins. But this is a different one. For 100 Bitcoins, and I think these are what would be considered like the new whales. you have more than 100 Bitcoin, people figured it out right here. Said, okay, well, now that Bitcoin is worth at this point, 80, 90,000 and going forward, this is the only one where we see a massive accumulation more of it. 100 Bitcoin or more, and it went from 16,000 wallets almost to 20,000. 1,000 Bitcoin, I think that was too rich for people. These are the guys that sold off, and they went flat over here. And then this one right here, it's interesting. These would be considered like the whale wallets, the 10,000 Bitcoins. Some are exchanges, it's true. There's very few of them around. But you just see here that the ones with 10,000 Bitcoin just went down, down, and down, except for right here. Between October 3rd and October 9th, when we hit an all-time high. That's when these wallets actually started to reaccumulate more so. And before you say, well, those are all exchanges, Rob. No, it's not true. If you take a look at BitInfo charts, the top richest wallets, you can see right here, it's Binance Cold Wallet, Robinhood Cold Wallet, number 3. Congratulations, Robinhood. Bitfinex Hack Recovery. And number 6, not labeled. Nobody knows. I'm sure someone knows, but that's not it. Tether, Mt. Gox Hack. Number 9, no one knows. Number 10, Silk Road FBI confiscated wallet has, 69,000 Bitcoin in there. Wonder if they're going to give those back. 11, 12, and this is interesting. Mr. 100 is still there, number 12. There's a lot of rumors about who that actually is, if it's another exchange or something else. I know James had a pretty good video on it. OKX, but then when you get to like 10,000 or more, there's all these wallets that aren't labeled. No one really knows who they are, what they are, who they're a part of. And these are the wallets that have actually been gaining since the peak at October 6th. Now, some of them are down here, Bitfinex Cold Wallet, sure. Binance, another Binance Cold Wallet, OKX. But you just keep it coming down here. This is 13,000 Bitcoin. Nobody knows what it is. 12,000, and so on and so forth. These are the wallets that continue to accumulate right after the top. Now, that doesn't mean they won't dump at some point, or we might do a reversal, but it is interesting to see where they're at. And there's always one more thing I'd like to say before we get into this, into the QA and giveaway. This Mr. 100, this individual person, sovereign wealth fund, shadow exchange, whatever it is, I like how they do things. Like they just mostly, I mean, to go to the very front, it takes me forever to get there. I mean, this is from like, I want to say like 2015 or something, 14, I think. I can't remember. But it's just a boatload of accumulations, and then every so often, a sell. Then a boatload of accumulations and sell. And then just big rips of green accumulations and a couple of sells, and so on and so forth. So like when people tell you never sell your Bitcoin, and I've been harping on this forever, take some profits. I was just talking to Mauricio yesterday, and we are the same thing. Bitcoin's supposed to be freedom. And if you don't have that freedom to do what you want, when you want, on your own time and accord, you should probably think about selling your Bitcoin so you can buy that time back. Doesn't matter how much Bitcoin you have at the end. We're all going the same direction in the ground. Anyhow, that's it for today. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section. And let's do some giveaways. First of all, Coinledger. We're going to be giving away 3 pro tax reports, which is usually worth about $200, $199. If you'd like to sign up for this or not, I got a discount. I think it's like 20%. There's a link in the description. They're 10 or 20. I'm pretty sure it's 20. But as far as pricing goes, you can do this by yourself, or if you want to do, like say, hey, I don't want to deal with it. I want the time to spend with my family and friends and not have to deal with poring over data points and Excel spreadsheets and nonsense. Then they have a done for you service, which is what I do personally, because I can't stand doing tax stuff. So there's that. If you want to look at, what this means for you, and as a reminder, for Coinledger, it's not just US, it's everywhere. Because everywhere you have to format in some way your crypto, what your buys, your sells, your losses, your gains, everything else. And there's a guide for pretty much every country that's out there. So if this is you, go check that out. And then if you're unfamiliar with some of the tax laws here, like in the United States and all the other countries, they pretty much lay it out for you pretty easily. This is what the tax code is. This is how it works. This is long-term and short-term. This is the step-by-step guide. These are taxable events. These are non-taxable events. And you know what? Sorry, I didn't put this in the description. I apologize. Tax guides. There. So for everybody watching the show later, you can find it there. So we got that and that. And then, of course, like we were talking about, tax loss harvesting will be a pretty good idea, potentially. I don't know. If you're sitting on a bunch of losses and you don't want to pay a bunch of taxes on something else, well, you can offset those with a very simple procedure called tax loss harvesting. And it works out to, you know, pretty much just sell, and you can buy back or not buy back and go from there. So now let's get into the giveaway, and then we'll go into a little Q&A. So let's see. First of all, I need to find, there it is. Let me refresh this. And I apologize for doing this on X. I know this is very difficult, but unfortunately, I don't want people to give away. I need people's email to send the information out. I can't just say, hey, Bing Bang Boom 734, you're the winner. How the hell do I get a hold of you? Because, you know, people say, oh, just email me. And then I get like 20 scam emails. Hey, it's me. It's Bing Bang Boom. Give me my free stuff. It doesn't work out. So I got to do this on X. Let's see. Let me refresh this. All right. James Arnold. Congratulations. You are one winner. And I will message you directly. And if you guys get a message on X or Twitter, what was called Twitter, and it's from Digital Asset Noob or Digital Asset Nuke or Digital Asset News 1234, that's wrong. It's just Asset News. And if I message you anywhere, first of all, I don't message anybody unless you're a winner. And if I do that, check who is messaging you. If it's somebody with News Asset, at News Asset with 200 and some thousand subscribers or followers on X, that's me. If it's somebody who's got like 4 followers and it's like, give me 1 Bitcoin, I'll give you 2 back, that is a scammer. All right, so there's one winner. James Arnold. James Arnold. And let's see, CryptoQuatics. CryptoQuatics, you were also a winner. And for number 3, what was the first one here? Oh, Coinledger can. Rustic, you already won one. David's the CEO. He can't win squat. Ah, Jimmy. Jimmy, you also won something. And so did One Crypto Solutions. Okay, to invest. Man, you're all a bunch of winners. Congratulations. To invest, you were also the 3rd winner. Sorry, I can't, I mean, I don't want to double up and triple up and people say, Rob's playing favoritism. I don't. Just do that. That's it for today. So look, like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing when we talk about it. It's time sensitive. Tomorrow, we'll be doing another giveaway. Let's see, tomorrow is the 31st, correct? I am correct. If that's the 31st, then we've got to do a Into the Cryptoverse giveaway. So don't miss that one. That'll be good times. Anyhow, that's it. And now we'll get a little Q&A. I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities, and we'll go from there. Ah, that's a good one. We're winners because we watch it or listen to news. Yeah, that's a nice one. Thanks. We all know Rob likes meme the best. It's true. I like meme. I like all the mods. That's what I really should be doing, is giving away more mods. Rob's the nicest crypto influencer. For the most part, you'd be surprised. Some people that personally know me think I'm the biggest a-hole on the planet. It's weird, but it does happen. Come on. I know. Joseph, the best I can do is 20% off. I feel like that meme for Pawn Stars. Can't give it to you for free. Best I can do is 20%. And yeah, I use those guys. Let's see. Maybe because of your rules they are pretty good. That's a solid deal. Damage where I started. I think that's it. Wow. Some German thieves got away with 30 million euros from a simple burglary. Yeah, and also thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Iran. I don't know if you guys have followed that story, but it looks like their entire economy has collapsed. Fiat currency is rapidly going to zero. I guess they're looking to overthrow the government. And I take a look at those stories, and I think to myself, man, if you hold your entire life savings into the Iranian currency and it's going to zero, what do you do with your life? You worked your whole life for this fake paper. And now the government's, because of the unrest and the civil outcry, now everything's going to go to zero. And all that hard work you did is for nothing. That's awful. You see this in, typical Venezuela, Greece. Now we're talking about Iran, other countries it's happened to. It's a good. I'm just glad that I got lucky enough to be born in America, and I get to invest into Bitcoin and get to talk to you fine people. That's pretty great. Anyhow, that's it for today. Everybody, thumbs up, subscribe, all that great stuff. I get some things done. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll do the Into the Cryptoverse giveaway. That should be a good one. Thanks so much. See you in the next one.